a physics test. This physics class, and I still have recurring dreams on this, was like at 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I'm not going. I mean, it was like, what insane thing would somebody at 7? So
Right.
it's the final. I'm a senior. I need to get a passing grade in this class to graduate. It's a requirement in my major. So twice in that semester I go to see where they're at, so I can hurry up and read and then come take that.
Yeah.
Both times I put my hand on the door, open it up, and it's in an auditorium. They're all bent over blue books, and I go, shit, they're taking a test. I don't even know what it is. Twice this happens. One test I get to take out of 3. So it's the final. I'm going, I have to do well on this, and then maybe I have to beg to make up one of the other tests so I can get a C in this class.
Holy cow, okay, yeah.
So I'm dry, and I stay up all night
do
studying, which I always do. I'm a crammer. I can't retain things long. So, and I'm going to work, and I'm living with a guy from New Jersey and one from Brooklyn and one from California. And the kid from California, parents were both university teachers, but they were like communists, and they didn't even live together. They're more socialists, and he's a Jew, and my other roommate's a Jew. Anyway, it was a real education.
yeah.
To live with these 3 diverse guys.
Right, sure.
Well, Jay didn't go to college. He was a garbage man in Columbia. So he'd have to get up and go to work like 4 in the morning. So I'm driving to go to this test at 6:30, 6:45 in the morning, because it's at 7:30. And these 3 guys are walking. I'm thinking, and they're really ragged looking. I'm going, it's some of Jay's friends going to pick up trash. Walking to work. I'll give them a ride because they're hitchhiking.
Yeah,
the morning
I get that.
I said, get in. And we don't go 100 yards, and I feel a tap at the back of my head, and I turn around, and it's a 38. I'm going,
jeez.
Oh.
That's not cool.
So we get to the first stop sign, and I'm thinking I'm bailing out the door.
Yeah, okay.
And the guy taps me in the head again and goes, don't even think about it. And I go, oh, shit.
Oh, man.
So we leave Columbia, and I don't know who these guys are or what's going on. Except they're all in, blue shirts and blue jeans.
You just wanted to get your test taken, man.
Right. So we drive outside of Columbia, and they say, turn off here. We get down a gravel road, and they tell me to get out. And I go, and I say, good, I have to pee anyway. And they start arguing. And what turns out they're arguing, the one guy with the gun wanted to kill me. And, take the car, and the other 2 said, no, we don't need to do that. It'll be murder. So they told me to get in, and this time they won't let me drive. I'm in the passenger seat, and the other 2 guys are in the back, and one's driving. And I pretend like I'm reading and studying, which I kind of am.
Well, yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do now? Let's study. Maybe he'll let you make the test.
Can you drop me off?
So we start talking, and by the time we get to St. Louis, we're friends. Because I got long blonde hair, and I'm a hippie, and I'm going, them cops. Because they started telling me what happened. They had just broke out of the jail, and they stole the gun from the guard. Well, they didn't tell me they knocked the fire out of him, almost killed him, so they don't know if they were already in it for murder.
Yeah.
And then they ended up, Dave, giving me money for the bus back to Columbia. Because they're stealing my car. And I'm just saying, take it. Go, good luck. Beat them coppers. Well, my uncle is a detective in the St. Louis police force.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm going, what do you do now? Because they dumped me off downtown at the Greyhound. No, it was at the, what was the other one? Continental bus lines. With the $15 that they gave me for the bus. I'm going, I really should report this. They got my car.
Yeah.
So I go, how are you going to do this? I go, well, go down. You're right downtown. Go to Central where Uncle Jake works and go tell your uncle what happened. Yeah. Well, I go there, and the desk sergeant in the lobby goes, what do you want? And I'm going, I wanted to see Uncle Jake Harmon. And he goes, yeah, right. I'm going, No, really, I just got kidnapped by escaped convicts, and he's going, sure you did.
Really?
You know, so he didn't believe me, so I walk out. And I said, okay.
Does he already
Oh,
know
no,
you?
no, this is the desk sergeant.
Okay.
And he goes, plus Harmon's off today. And I'm
Okay.
going, shit. Either the guy's jerking with me because he's been jerking with me.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm a long-haired hippie with a blue work shirt on. He goes, and look,
Right.
he even said, you look like you just escaped. And so I started, and I'm trying to think, how
just
do I
wanted to
get a
take your
bus to go
test.
to my uncle's house, which is by Tower Grove Lake, you know, or park. And I started walking down the street to get, you got directions to go to where I could get a bus. And, and I go, this is bullshit. And I went back in to the guy to say, no, really,
right.
Yeah,
I just got my car.
Well, when I walked back,
pain in the
the
ass.
teletypes, in those days it was teletype, had been down. And
Oh,
they didn't
okay.
know about the jailbreak. When I came back,
They did.
they did.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden he goes,
Right.
come here, you know, and next
Right,
thing,
now when
and
you hear
Chris
from him.
Condon, who is an old St. Louis TV personality on Channel 5.
Oh, that's the guy with the bird, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Anyway, when I come out of the interrogation by the cops, here's Chris Condon. It amazed me because he was a St. Louis kind of icon, wide-haired guy.
Okay.
He turns out he's only about this tall.
All of them are.
And so they do an interview, and then the State Patrol takes me back to Columbia.
Oh, so you
And when
didn't
I
have
get-
to use the $15 for your
No,
bus ticket?
no. They take me back. When I get there,
Good deal.
here's, you know,
You got your life and
University
your
of Missouri
$15.
School of
Not your car.
Journalism, you know, is world known.
The
all the students are
Say,
there.
go back 1 second. There was a school of journalism.
At the University of Missouri, it's
Okay,
a world-known school of journalism.
yeah, it's
So
very
there's about
famous for
6
that.
of them guys there, and the Post is Globe Democrat had sent a guy up because Chris
Holy
from you know had
smokes.
already done me. The Post
No, but
was
we're
there.
at Nagel watching TV, and the news comes on, and it's Jim Martin getting interviewed on the news.
And this is the thing. I'm thinking about that when he's interviewing. I'm going, shit, I should have called my mom and dad and told them
Yeah.
before they freak out.
And then he says,
It just
Well-
hits you like a light bulb.
you probably won't be picking up any hitchhikers anymore, will you? And Jim goes, oh, yeah, I think I'd still pick up
And I
hitchhikers.
still.
I'll just be more selective. I'll try to-
My friend Al, one of my roommates, it's a party at the house. They're waiting for me to come home because all the guys, you know,
Yeah,
the press is there.
Sure,
and shit.
sure.
And so in our front room we have this picture, a poster, and it said the guys landing on the moon because that was the same, you know, air.
Yeah.
And the poster says, so what? So we were all into Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and there's an album with them all sitting on the couch. And we'd pull our couch out and taking pictures of us in the front yard like that.
Yeah.
But so we set up the front room like that in front of this poster that says, and you know, Al has to get in the picture. So, you know, I still have the newspaper from the Post upstairs, you know, with me and Al
Cool.
set up in the chair, and he's got his arm on me like, you know, Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, and it says, so what?
That's cool, man.
Hey,